Hello everyone, how we all doing today? My name is Lamoura, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online with Niah, the white mage, and little baby Bahamut right over there. Look how cute that little guy is. Look at his little piggy butt. Alright, let's get into it. We're here at Bannock, and we are going to get the next main story quest from Galfred. Since we did all of our class quests, we're working our way up to level 8. As you can see here, we have the rested bonus because I rested in the sanctuary last night. So I got a little extra, not as much as I would have liked, but hey, it's there and it's extra XP. Alright, and Eft for effort. I will mention some of these names are actually referential to a lot of different things if you're paying attention. So I always like reading the title of the quest. This is a level 6, which we are over leveled for. Galfred, chief instructor of the Bannock, wishes you to assist the training of new recruits. A word, if I may. There is a difficult matter with which I could use your assistance. Allow me to explain. The nearby river is home to a colony of black Fs whom I sent a party of recruits to slay. Yet scarcely a bell after I had done so, the youngsters returned, hysterical yet noticeably bloodied, and loudly bemoaned their misfortune at ever having been sent to contend with such hell-born horrors, as they say. Pitiful. My great-grandmama could dispatch an eft with her walking stick and a harsh word. That such a task should cow a whole party of able-bodied men and women is beyond belief. I would have you show these quivering milkstops how it's done. Make your way to the river and put down 4 of these creatures. Alright, so we have to slay some Fs. I see the quest kind of over here in our map, so we'll continue on. We did run into a few before while I was slaying some of those water sprites, so I know what they look like, and I know really where to find them. They will be right over here in the river. Actually, there's a whole bunch. You can kind of see on the mini-map here, all these little meteor strikes. Those are possible places where we could be fighting them. Actually, let's bring that back up just because I like it there. Alright. Yep. They're like giant tadpoles. Like in between a frog and a tadpole, that in-between stage. They're just slimy monstrosities. I won't lie. I wouldn't want to get anywhere near one of these things either. Especially when it's puking its bubbles all over you. Ugh. Luckily, they are fairly passive, so I don't have to worry about that one coming in and joining the fight. A bit later, we will have to worry about that kind of stuff, positioning and whatnot, beyond just avoiding attacks. But as of right now, not so much my concern. Okay. No, he said 4, right? Yeah. Alright, let's go for this one because it's a bit closer to where we need to be after. Alright. It is kind of weird going back to a class that you've been playing for so long at a higher level and remembering like, oh yeah, I don't have that one thing that I relied on for so long to make the game more enjoyable or easier or whatever words you want to use there. It's kind of interesting to see how far we've come, to be honest with you. Like, I remember, I guess, early levels, but nothing like having an actual like video guide or reference to go back to. You know, because your memory misserves you. You think it's more fun than it really was, or it's more grandiose, but it's really not. Alright, welcome back, Niah. You performed admirably. I had my recruits watching from the banks as you dispatched the Fs. It appears your skills in battle have inspired them. Either that, or they have no wish to be upstaged by an adventurer. It matters little which. What does matter is that they have resumed their training with renewed zeal, and that I have you to thank for it. I am in your debt. Alright, so we get to choose a different thing if we wanted. If none of these spoke to us, like if we weren't a lancer, if we weren't an archer, and we weren't a conjurer or white mage, none of these would have spoken to us. But for now, they do. But if they didn't, you could take these bronze pieces and turn them in for some cash. Cash can be fairly important. I won't lie, like I spent a lot of it on the market boards, upgrading my gear so I didn't have to worry too much about it. And then you can also use it for buying houses and different items that you may need for crafting or different things like that. So there are a lot of uses for the money in this game, but as of right now, we won't really be using it. Okay, Galfred has another quest for us. Eggs Over Queasy. See, I told you, these names are just mwah, perfect. Galfred, chief instructor of the Bannock, wishes you to collect Chiog egg sacs. Niah, injuries to several of my men have left me short-handed, and I require capable sorts to complete their unfinished duties. The task is simple. Put down as many of the local Chiog, I'm going to just pronounce it like that, population as necessary to acquire 8 of their egg sacs. Having done so, you are to deliver them to Monrangwin. What is that? Monrangwin at Gilbert Spire. He will answer any queries you might have. Now, I have other business to attend to. Alright, some more slaying quest. As you can kind of see, this is what I was talking about before with how they are going to be streamlining the main story. Because there is a lot of back and forth questing that is done with like collecting egg sacs and different things like that. Which is standard MMO practice, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's not entirely exciting. To me, as someone who just enjoys the game and wants to be in the game as much as like humanly possible, sure, this doesn't really bother me. But I can see, and I do understand because I have experienced it, how much it can take you out of the story. By the time you're back in it, you're like, wait, what was I doing? What was the main rush? The main purpose? So, yeah, I can't really say that they are wrong for wanting to streamline the process, and for people asking for it as well. I know, probably on my first playthrough, when I was still trying to get used to the mechanics and I was trying to figure out how things were working, I was skipping a lot of the main story cutscenes. I was just skipping through because there was a lot of text that I wasn't getting. And this is... I know that sounds bad, but I'll explain it a little bit more when we get to our first dungeon. But there were reasons why I was skipping over it, because I didn't see the point. I was like, well, I already missed this thing. I don't know what's going on, so I'll just ignore it all. It was a bad mindset to have, to be honest with you. I should have realized that there were ways to circumvent it. But again, I'll speak on it more when we get to our first dungeon. Alright, so I had to slay, what, 8? And I have 5, so 3 more. Hi. Thank you. I don't know why that wasn't working. I don't know if I was lagging or what, but the animation for arrow was never being applied, so I wasn't sure if it was actually working or not. Alright, I'm gonna have to heal after this one. Alright, just these last 2, and then we should be done. And our final Chiog. Alright, there we go. Let's just heal up real quick. I know I heal outside of battle, but just in case something pops up, I always like to just have a little bit extra HP. You never know. Sometimes one of our hunting log quests will come popping out of nowhere and you just want to get a fight on. Alright, Monrangwin. Such a weird name. I'm gonna call him like Mon. Ah, you must be the adventurer standing in for our injured companions. Terribly unfortunate business, that. Alright, let's hand over these egg sacs. It seems, however, that you had little trouble gathering the egg sacs in their stead. Excellent work. I shall have them sent over to the Trappers' League immediately. Lest you wonder, these egg sacs are not destined for the dinner table. Members of the Twin Adder and the Wood Whalers are assisting the League by collecting the samples they need to check for signs of sickness. The Chiogusi is one of the few creatures capable of transmitting the disease known as the Creeping Death. Until relatively recently, a Heer who contracted this ghastly illness would almost invariably perish. Indeed, a single outbreak once claimed the lives of a third of the heroine population here in Gridania. That was a long time ago, of course. With the medicines available to us now, the Creeping Death is not the killer it once was. Even so, it is best to halt any new outbreaks before they occur. Thus, we gather Chiog eggs on a regular basis in order to assist the Trappers League with their ongoing research. Your timely assistance is most appreciated. Alright, so we get a wind shard, or 13 wind shards, and a high potion with a bunch load of XP. I will take that. There we go. So we learned a roll action at level 8. Let's just read about that. You have learned a roll action. Roll actions are spells and weapon skills that are assigned to all classes within a role. Tank, melee, DPS, range, DPS, or healer, rather than a specific class. Roll actions are learned in the same manner as class actions via leveling, but only need to be learned once to be able to use them within all participating classes within a role. See, that's good to know, because I actually did forget that. The role action section has been added under actions and traits, found under character in the main menu. Selecting it will display the role actions you have learned. Okay, so let's just go and check that out real quick so we're all kind of aware of what's going on. Role actions here, so Response, Asuna, Swift Cast, Lucid Dreaming, Surecast, and Rescue can all be used in the corresponding classes. Not saying that it can be used with every class, but with the corresponding classes so that they can kind of cross-pollinate, if you will. So you have your regular class actions. These are the ones that the White Mage learns alone for leveling up. And then you have some traits, which are some buffs to different things that, the White Mage will have. So you'll see this is a passive buff like Stone Mastery. This increases our stone damage. The Maim and Mend increases the base action damage and HP restoration by 10%. So you can kind of see that it increases our effectiveness as we go through. But these are the main skills that we'll be learning as we level up. Once we get to level 10, it seems like Medica is the skill that we will be learning from our class quest. Just to keep it in mind, it is fairly easy there to learn. But I should, just in case, get this going on my bar, because it is something that we will need to think about a little bit later. I mean, not for this class, it's really not even a situation, but it's always nice to have it there just in case something, shit hits the fan, I should say. Surveying the damage. A guard at Gilbert Spire named Mon needs you to recover the surveying equipment left behind in a cave. Fate discovered. Okay. Cave by a startled recruit. Alright. Such an embarrassing turn of events. I sent a recruit from Bannock on a surveying expedition only for the Craven to turn tail and flee at the first sign of trouble. This is not how we treat requests from the Conjurers. And as if such a poor showing weren't bad enough, the lily-livered half-wit left behind the surveying equipment provided by Hearer Pauline herself. While I attempt to install some backbone into this so-called soldier, would you mind recovering the survey gear and returning it to Hearer Pauline at Gabanock's Bower? According to my recruit's tale of woe, there should be a set of survey records, a surveyor's rope, and 2 boxes of surveyor instruments strewn about the interior of a cave to the south of here. It's a wonder the damn fool didn't lose his boots. Matron, watch over you. Okay, so we had to clean up a mess that a poor recruit left behind by finding some of these surveying equipment that was not rightfully theirs to begin with. So it looks like here it is going to be in this little river cave, so we might as well get in the river so that we can go and do this quest. Ah, the Bog Yarzin. These little fuckers. Pardon my language, but they are fairly annoying, at least in the beginning game, because they are one of the first creatures around here that are hostile towards you. And as you're trying to go around and they are just chasing you adamantly, as a new player it can be kind of overwhelming if you're not quite sure what's going on. Especially if you're trying to do a quest, you sneak behind one of them, you don't think it's going to aggro, you try interacting with something, and then you get interrupted because it gets off one of its annoying attacks. The bane of my existence, it truly is. Okay. Oh, he's not dead yet. Alright, let's hit it with just an arrow there. I should probably use... I should probably move my skill down here, down to where I normally have it. So the way I usually set things up is I keep my attacks down over here on my mouse hotkeys. Then I have... What did I just do? Apparently I just got something special. But then I also keep my healing up here. I usually keep group healing here and then some secondary actions here. And then up for 1, 2, 3, and 4 are some specialty traits such as increasing attack speed or mana recovery or things like that. So passive skills, if you will. So there is a method to my madness why I have my skills and my hotkeys set up the way they are. It's just right for me, but for others it may not be the best way for them to go about doing things. Okay, survey records. Let's grab those. Let's just check behind us, make sure there's nothing out of our sight. Because sometimes that does happen, especially when you're looking for things. But we got those survey records, so that's good. We just need to find 2 more instruments and a rope. We have the instruments right there, and then I'm pretty sure that's the rope. Okay, so let's make sure we get these instruments. Okay, it looks like rope and rope right there. Cool. Alright, the other Bog Yarzin is looking away, so we should be safe here. But just because of the XP, I will be killing it. Alright, and then we should just have one more that we need to slay, unless this one decides it wants to get really close to us. Ooh, it interrupted my attack. Not good. Especially when you have a class that has cast times, such as ours does. It can be really detrimental to your DPS if you're interrupted by stupid attacks. It's never fun. Oh wait, there was these instruments. It was the instruments that I needed 2 of, not the ropes. Okay, and just for fun, we're gonna kill one more. Just because we have the thirst. The thirst for blood. And it's mostly in my way. I want to get back to where we were, so... going back, as you can see, the Bog Yarzin have respawned, so I don't want to go back the way I came, mostly because I would have to fight everything that I had just previously slayed. So that's why I wanted to kill that one, so I could just run past, free of being accosted. Alright, so this is going to be our home away from home for a little while now. Just get used to the scenery. It's, again, standard kind of MMO practice to keep you in a similar place for quite a while before moving on. But around level 15, when we get the level 15 class quest, or main scenario quest, it will start to open up a little bit more. We'll be able to travel worldwide. Okay. Cool. So we have a new little character, Pauline, that we can meet here. She has a nice pointy hat, as you can see, as most mages in this game usually wear. But because we have big old ears, we can't equip them. Yes, may I assist you with some matter? Alright, we have the records, the instruments, and the rope for you. Oh, but this is the equipment I left with the soldiers of the Bannock. Fled at the first sign of danger, you say? I see. Well, all is not lost. It appears the recruit managed to complete the surveying assignment. The records are actually quite detailed. With the changes wrought by the Calamity, I thought it wise to send the Order of the Twin Adder on a number of expeditions to map the region's topography. As fortune would have it, the officers saw these tasks as an excellent opportunity to train inexperienced soldiers. We can no longer rely on our past knowledge of the Twelveswood. If we are to survive these troubled times, we must reacquaint ourselves with our surroundings, that we may better discern the threats we face. Stay vigilant, adventurer. Alright, so we could get some new pants. Ooh, hempen gaskins. I do like that. Just so we also see, it increases our defense and magical defense by 1 point, but it also increases intelligence and mind. I don't know if what we currently have does that, but it's definitely nice to be able to have a new set of gear. Let's actually look. Yeah, so we have no actual stat buffs from what we currently have, so we'll make sure we get rid of that and equip our new gear. Let's just see real quick. Does look like we have a recommended gear because we are level 8. I did forget that we picked up another one, so we will make sure we equip that so that we get another buff to our skills. Always good to keep an eye out on that sort of thing so you're not falling behind. Alright, Pauline has another one. Butcher of Greentear. Pauline, a conjurer at Gabanok's Bower, seeks an able adventurer to cull the local hoglet population. Off the top of my head, I don't remember what hoglets are. If you might spare the time, Niah, I would have you thin the numbers of hoglets in Greentear. While these beasts have always called the Twelveswood home, their appetite has grown so insatiable of late that I fear they will devour every nut on the forest floor. The cycle of life cannot well sustain such gluttony. I must ask you to slay at least 6 of these creatures. Their sacrifice will be to the greater good of the Twelveswood, I assure you. Actually, I think I do remember what the hoglets are, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just zoom out on our map here. It looks like we need to go in this direction in order to get them. There is a level 4 fate over there. I do want to do a fate with you guys at one point, so you can at least see what's going on with them and what they all are about. But as of right now, maybe we'll avoid doing that. Maybe we'll make that the end task for this episode. Participate in a fate. Alright, so this is a hoglet over here. They're like a boar pig thing. Kind of cool. I like their leathery texture with their horns coming outside of the side of their face. And then they also have like this cap above their brow, their forehead. It kind of like hangs over. So they look like they'd be really good for ramming with their head. And I really like that kind of creature. I don't know, I just think they look cool. And I did make a mistake in this episode. I should have been drinking my orange juice here and getting my XP bonus just for having some orange juice. A nice, tasty beverage. Always make sure you're topped up on your drinks. It really is important. To the leveling process, I should say. Because, as you saw before, some quests... Weird lag spike right there. Some quests are locked behind a specific level, and if you're not keeping up with your XP, then you are in fear of being locked out and having to grind for a bit. And I will admit, having to grind in order to continue a story quest is a quick way to burn yourself out from this game, especially if you're only interested in doing the story. Having to do all the extra side content you're not particularly interested in, it's not fun. I can at least admit that as well. Alright, this guy's dead. A little bit of lag I'm experiencing today. Arrows not applying all right away. The delay between the damage ticks seems like it's a little off. I'm not sure if it's because everyone is home nowadays and the internet providers are struggling a little bit more than normal. Alright, so we have 5 of 6, so we should just have to take out this one more. And that is, unfortunately, a negative of our current situation. I know it's first world problem sort of thing, but because kids aren't at school and parents aren't at work, everyone is at home siphoning off internet, and it just kind of throttles it all for the rest of us. Alright, let's go sprint our way back. Man, I can't wait till we get a mount. It's going to be so much better to travel. Early game is kind of rough, being ping-ponged back and forth without much of a way of constant speed. It would be one thing if we could just keep up this level of sprint for as long as we wanted, but we can't. Alright, Pauline, we finished your test? Yes, the elementals rejoice at your actions. The life of the forest relies on the delicate balance, and the unchecked proliferation of beasts would mean a slow but certain death for the Twelveswood. Words, man. Some of these words, like when you only read them, it's hard to get the pronunciation right. It's like when you hear it actually spoken, you're like, oh yeah, that's obvious. My tongue can make those, shapes and sounds. But when you're just reading it for the first time, you're like, what? Anyways, certain death for the Twelveswood. It is our duty to correct such imbalance and swiftly, even if it means shedding blood. Though it may seem trivial, you have performed a vital service this day. May the elementals bless your future endeavors. Alright, so we can get some jewelry here, and this wristband increases our strength and dexterity, which is not really good for a mage as of right now. If we get these wristlets, that's actually increasing our intelligence and our mind. Definitely better for where we are at right now. And we got a level 9 upgrade. Perfect. It seems like we just had leveled up to level 8 previously. So let's just check our wristlets here. It does look like we are going to be having something that is technically worse than what we had before. So you can see here our weathered wristlets have a strength 1, dexterity 1, vitality 1, intelligence 1, mind 1, and piety 1, which is pretty much all your stats right there. Whereas this copper wristlet only increases intelligence and mind. Even though the item level is technically higher on the wristlets, this is better because it's increasing more stats. Just something that we have to keep in mind. Okay, so from here, we can exit out of these two things, and it looks like Pauline does have another quest for us. A soldier's breakfast. Pauline at Gabinok's Bower needs an adventure to call the growing Anole population, as well as gather some of the Scalekin's eggs. A word with you, Niah. I hesitate to make such a dangerous request, but might you assist us in thinning the number of anoles on Naked Rock? Ooh, Naked Rock. Ooh, saucy. In our efforts to commune with the elementals. Sorry, I should be doing the voice. We conjurers have often find ourselves in the area. Of late, however, our meditations have all too frequently been interrupted by unprovoked anole attacks. Truly, the beasts grow more aggressive by the day. Their numbers have continued to grow since the advent of the Seventh Umbral era, you see, forcing packs of scaleskin to come down from the mountain in search of food. If you could slay half a dozen or so of the beasts, that should lessen their need to hunt and also serve as a warning to other anoles to remain within their territory. Okay? But I am afraid you must do more than thin existing population. If we are to truly break this spiraling growth, then we must also target their future offspring. Bring me 4 anole eggs, and you will have played your part in returning balance to the area of the forest. Man, that sounds a little brutal, I'm not gonna lie. I understand the rationale for it, but goddamn, you gotta slay the younglings as well? It's alright. She does bring up a point. You do have to cull the unfortunate population growth of some animals. Deer, that's why we have deer season, because they are unfortunately a pest, and when left uncontested, they will wreak havoc on nature's balance. One thing that you kind of saw there is a cool trick that you kind of learn as you play through the game. Normally, if I was to move while casting, you'll see I get interrupted. So if I don't get through all of the casting here, I won't send out the spell. But there is a special way that if you wait towards like a last few seconds of the cast, like 0.5 seconds, you can usually get away with doing what they call a slide cast, or at least what I call a slide cast. So you can kind of move out of the way of some things. And it's really beneficial if you are in a class such as a caster that requires a static movement. Classes like the Black Mage are a little bit more perverse to this tactic. They need it a lot more than, say, the White Mage, because we're more so outside of the range of attack when we are... I just wanted to look around and see if I'm not missing any of the eggs real quick. So like a class like the White Mage, you know, we can move a little bit more. We're usually not in the line of sight or a focus of attacks. Normally because we're not putting out that much damage in comparison to tanks, DPS, or even the ranged DPS like Black Mages. So it's usually beneficial for us to keep further back, but because we are playing solo, it is beneficial for us to now know the tactics such as slide stepping or slide casting. Alright, I am seeing a few eggs around here, so it looks like I know where we need to go in order to find them. So I should be killing the ones that are close to the egg locations, because they are hostile towards us, so that means they are going to attack on sight. And I wasn't able to escape the area attack before the cast was off, so I did take that damage. Because attacks like that show the cone or whatever it may be aren't dependent on if you're just able to escape the attack before the animation is finished. There's actually a little cast bar that shows up right here. So once that fills, if I don't leave the area before that cast bar, you can see I actually take the damage. So very much how we have a area of opportunity to escape and still cast a spell before losing it and getting interrupted, they actually have a small window of opportunity to still hit us if we don't escape in time. So it's not just by the end of the animation or by the end of the cast timer, you actually have to escape before it finishes casting. I know it's a little complex. Every attack has their own little specialty mechanics with them that you need to be aware of. And see, unfortunately we did aggro 2 now, so we are going to have a little bit more trouble. But I'm going to put a dot effect on the second one so that it takes damage. And so by the time, and I don't want to get this, I got the third one. Dang it. This is going to be a little bit troublesome for me. Alright, so we had to play smartly here. Try to thin out the herd before we take too much damage. Alright, let's make sure we get a cure on, because we do not want to be hurt like that. Did I just get another? Oh my god, they're everywhere. They respawned. That's not good. Alright, so we just had to play a little bit more conservatively here. Alright, make sure we get a cast off when necessary. Hopefully none of the other ones have spawned. They have. Hopefully that one. I'm going to start walking back towards where we were so that none of the other ones will turn around and find us. God, these guys are annoying. See, this is the problem with playing a caster, is when you have enemies like this that are constantly doing some kind of area attack like this, it can be rather annoying. Alright, let's finish it off with that, and then let's do this one. We need to move because another one just spawned, and we don't want it to aggro on us, and it's walking this way, so I'm going to pull it a little bit further. Positionals is fairly important in this game, just be aware. Always know your surroundings and what's around you, you know? You don't want to get caught in that kind of situation. It's never fun. Okay, cool. So we were able to manage it. We were able to manage it, but it is something you do need to be aware of, especially as a squishy healer. I don't have as much defense, both magical and physical. Alright. I could try to do some trickery by skirting around these guys. I don't know if I'll be able to. Yeah, see, this one got me. But it should be okay, because these other ones will be out of our range unless they decide for whatever reason to walk this way. But this one should walk this way, this one should walk that way, or they might both walk that way. Yeah, so we're safe there. Though we might be getting a little close. Next dodge, we'll probably want to go this back other direction. Alright, we should be able to skirt around here. I should be able to get right through them. They look at line of sight in front of them. They have no awareness behind them. But see, I was still technically in the line of sight in front of that guy. So, you never quite know. Some of them are fairly blind, some of them are a lot more aggressive. It kind of just depends on the creature. Okay, let's see if we can get through these two before one of them turns around. Alright, that guy's going that way. Oh, wait, I have all of the egg sacs that I need. So I'm just going to start sprinting. I know they're going to aggro, but after I get a certain distance away, they'll un-aggro. I didn't realize I had all the eggs and killed all the creatures. I was already doing good. Ah, that music kicking in. It's so relaxing and good. Alright, Pauline, we did your quest. Ah, you have returned. Now, might my brothers and sister continue their meditations undisturbed, you have my thanks. As for these eggs, may I ask you to deliver them to... Sue? Like, what is that? Sub? How are you supposed to pronounce that? Anyways, he's Sue, or she's Sue. At the Bannock? Anole eggs are both large and filled with nutrients. The perfect meal for a soldier. She will be more than a little pleased to see you, I should imagine. Alright, so we have to go back to Bannock and deliver these. Is there a door over here? There's not. Okay, that's fine. I actually should have taken that door on the other side, because now I'm just kind of walking around like a goober. There was another door on this side over here, but hey, it is what it is. Okay. Let's see, my sprint is back, so we can now kind of go a little bit quicker. Alright, well, there's Sue. Who goes there? Oh, wait, is that a... That's a lady. Who goes there? Oh, Niah, it's you. Another delivery? Yep, we have some eggs for you. I'm not certain I should be the one to... By Noficia, these are Anole eggs. The troops will be glad indeed to see these at the table. And you say here Pauline sent you on this errand? I hear the Anoles are more numerous than ever, yet you appear to have managed the task with your skin intact. Your skill and bravery continue to amaze me, Niah. Alright, so we can get some different things here. So we have item level 9 now for these rings, but they do decrease the defense that we get if we were to put them on. So the copper ring is for strength and dexterity, but the bone ring increases intelligence and mind, but again, we lose 1 point. I know it's not much, but it still means something. So I'm going to take the gill, because we're still going to get the eye drops, which are a way to prevent blindness. So this is a guaranteed item, and these are the optional ones. So I'll take the gill. Alright, speaking of, I should go into my inventory, because at one point we got a potion, and I will put that high potion right there. Just kind of sort those real quick. Okay. So Sue had opened up with a new quest that we could do if we wanted. I just want to kind of show you some of these different quests. This one just has a regular reward if you were wanting to do that. Let's see. Anyone have an optional? So this guy will give you some food. So if you didn't buy any food and you just were like, I don't want to spend the gil on food, you can do a quest and you can get some different types of options here for you. Obviously, they have different effects. We have direct hit rate +8, vitality +1, and skill speed +1. And then the toad legs have the direct hit rate, vitality, and then spell speed +1. So you can kind of pick and choose what you want here. I should mention my orange juice has piety, vitality, and direct hit rate. So to me, that's a pretty good one. Piety will help us in the early game manage our MP. Where are we at? We have 13 minutes, and we have a fate that's going on over here. So I'm getting close to where I would probably end this episode. We're at 39 minutes, so we're going to go do this fate, actually at the perfect time. We won't get as much experience here or rewards because someone else has been doing it, and they have pretty much all but completed it. So we'll just help out in the end, our little friend here. Oh, this person's strong. They pretty much one-shot that thing, huh? Which is fine. We'll just do what we can. Yeah, we have some strong guys over here. So we're obviously not helping out in a grand way, but hey, we'll help out nonetheless. Yeah, look, they're just one-shotting these things. So I'll try. Okay, there it is. Clever girls, and that was a silver ranking that we got there. Yeah, you can see, because they level synced. Essentially, if you're too high of a level, we went over this before, if you're too high of a level and you go into a fate, it will bump you down to, I think, 6 levels above the recommended. So they were level 3, so they were probably level 9, or even higher. It might be a higher level, so they were just one-shotting those level 3 creatures, whereas I was having a little bit more difficulty. And that's just the nature of it. But that's how a fate works, essentially. You just kind of do those, you join whenever you want. Some people, if they are grinding out certain quests, or for factions or whatnot, they'll grind out these fates, because it gives you extra rewards. So we're going to try something in the water, at least I think. If it's the one I think it is, we might not be able to do it, alone at least. Unless this person is going there with them. Nope, it looks like no one's going to be doing it. Something in the water is, you see that giant water sprite over there? That's what that quest is. It can be fairly difficult to do when you're not in DPS class alone. I'll send out a cure on this person, because I'm nice. They're leveling a new class. Looks like Conjurer themselves. So. It's cute. Yeah. Anyways, that person was nice and helped us out. Gave us a cure as kind of like a thank you. It's cute. Anyways, guys, I want to thank you all for joining me on today's episode. I am probably going to go back to New Gridania in the next episode and tackle the Smith quests that we have there. We never did them. I feel like I'm at an appropriate level where we can give that a whirl. So we'll give that a try in the next episode. So that's what we'll pick up. Thanks again. I really do hope you guys are enjoying it and everything has been up to snuff for you all as well. I will see you in the next episode whenever that is posted. Peace out and much love to you.